What is up, guys? NYKF31 here, Madden 17. This is a Madden Ultimate Team video. This is a good time of year to provide teachable moments. I figured this would be a good start to a bit of a mini series. I'm going to call it Madden 17 Hits and Misses. I'm going to illustrate things that were introduced to the game that were good, and some things that were intended to be good that didn't quite work out as planned, and also things that just flat out didn't work at all. Going to talk about match coverage in this video. In this head-to-head game, I played predominantly cover 3 press, cover 3 match, with some quarters sprinkled in here and there, with some cover 2 and cover 3 cloud mixed in, and a dose of man, but primarily cover 3 match, cover 3 press. Now, match coverage was introduced to the game for the first time. I'm going to give AW an A for effort. I'm going to give him a C- on execution, however. Because of the fact that deep zone logic was pretty much left untouched, cover 3 match gets torn apart or falls apart pretty quickly. The underneath stuff, it can be tuned up as well, but I can actually live with it, or I would be able to live with it if we had two things. One, the pass rush that we had at release that would hide the deep zones, or, and preferably both, tighter deep zones or more responsive deep zones. But anyhow, let's go over what we have here. We have a trips formation, and we're going to go over, for those of you who aren't really familiar how match coverage is supposed to work, I'm going to walk you through the basic rules. I'm a nickel 2-4-5 set. This is me camped out on my deep middle safety. And, we have corner, slot corner, two backers, obviously. And against trips, we're going to start from the outside and work in. Number 1 to the trip side. Pretty straightforward for the corner. He releases vertical, you go vertical. It's man-to-man coverage. Anything vertical, deep, down the sideline, or breaking to the corner, even deep post. You don't want to assume that your help is there. You want to play on that hip, that outside hip of the receiver, and trail if he runs post route. You follow man-to-man. If number 1 breaks inside, let's say he just runs a quick slant, or he runs a drag or square in of medium to short depth, your attention then turns to number 2. Number 2, you read his release, you're on the alert for slot out, slot corner. Pretty straightforward there. Number 2, your slot defender here, in EA logic, he is the seam flat defender. His job is, again, to read the release of number 2. If he's in a press alignment, obstruct his release, force him outside the numbers. And again, same rule. If he goes vertical, you go vertical. If he breaks out, you're a seam flat defender, you break with him. If he breaks underneath, you look to either jump, slant, or shallow cross by number 1, or you're looking for quick out, quick flat by number 3. Your hook zone backers, looking to gain width and depth. Let me repeat, width and depth. To about, I would say, 8 to 10, 8 to 12. And you're looking to crack down on any shallow crossers, any slants, back angling out of the backfield, things of that nature. In a trip set, the solo side corner is usually going to be in a man everywhere he goes, a mega call as we used to call it. Man everywhere he goes. He's all yours, buddy. And As a result, this safety here, he has to be a seam flat defender. He has to be on the alert, especially in this type of formation, to any wheel route being run out of the backfield, because there'll be no one there. If this is a man everywhere he goes call and the corner is following him inside or vertical, he's got to, check for the back. So that's how it works in theory. However, in motion, we're going to see problems almost right away. And it's mostly going to be due to the passive zones out of the deep corners, which will leave me hung out to dry as a deep third safety. So in motion, ball is snapped. Number one goes underneath. Corner should not be opening up his gate like this. He should be still in his pedal, reading the quarterback's eyes. Well, no, reading the receiver first, and then reading the quarterback's eyes if, need be. But he should not be doing this and opening up. Number two, the slot opens up. He actually opens up with outside leverage, which surprises me. But he opens up outside. Walls off number two. Peels off to the flat. I'd like to see him keep going. Because what's going to happen, once number three clears the hook zone backer, because my corner is drifting all the way out here and not keying a receiver, I'm going to be caught 2-on-1. What should be happening is if he's going to peel off to the flat, he needs to be aware of the release of number two and take him. That would leave me to break on the middle. But because neither of those things happen, him following him deeper or him picking him up, I'm caught. I'm caught having to account for him and him, which I can't do. One guy can't cover two people. Well, user middle linebackers can, but user deep safeties can't. And neither can AI deep safeties. But I digress. This is fine here. I can live with this. Ideally, I'd like to see him be a little bit more fluid in his motions. Once he has no immediate threat, he needs to be looking for anything backside underneath. What we would call an undercall. Someone would be shouting under, under, under. That would alert him to crack down here. Outside here, since this is not a man everywhere he goes, what do we get here? We get drift-aroo. But at least we have the seam flat there. If he goes vertical, he'd obviously be followed, but look at how poorly aligned he is. He has really no impact on the play whatsoever. Even if he was throwing a corner, chances are you'd be able to get a corner thrown right underneath him with a lead pass. If you're wondering why you're giving up corners and deep outs against cover three, that's why. So, because of this, he could throw here. But, Barb will crack down on that. I can live with that. I'm okay with that for the most part. I'm okay with what's going on here and here. And I can live with this even. Well, up until that happens. But what I can't live with is this and my corner being blissfully unaware of it. Because that breaks down the entire coverage and you get a massive chunk of yardage, as I cannot possibly get back there in time. And my corner from the backside of the formation, he actually does a halfway decent job of breaking on it, and almost, well, he has a chance that it becomes a bang bang play. But you see the problem that the drifting corner to the trip side causes. There's no awareness to any other routes being recognized at all. And I can't come off of him now. I can't come off of him because if I do, he's just going to throw an inside pass lane and there's no one there. So I'm pretty much done. Here's what happens when there's no undercall and the hook defenders lose their mind. Match coverage again. We're okay with that. So far, so good, right? This looks very good, actually. But then we have this madness. You would never do this. This is the throw you want them to make. You want them to make that throw all game long. You don't do this. You don't fly to the flat and just leave the tight end crossing the field because there's no one there. Everyone's in match coverage. There's no one there now. And this is what happens sometimes in these match coverages. Sometimes guys just turn loose and just do crazy, inexplicable things. There's no reason for him to do this. None. And this just destroys the entire coverage. Touchdown. So there you have it. On the bright side, we at least have the concept in the game, but a lot of work needs to be done. The deep zone awareness of the corners and the deep safeties have to be drastically better. They have to be more aware of route combinations, and the hook and the seam flat defenders have to follow their rules more consistently. And this is happening in MUT, where everyone has good play rec and good awareness. You know, can you imagine this happening in CFM with ordinary guys? Just leaks all over the place. So that needs to be tightened up, really big time. You know, all I ask is for the rules to be respected and programmed into the game, and then you let the players' individual abilities determine the day. So that's that. This is the first edition of Madden 17 hits and misses, and there'll be more of these in the next couple of days and weeks. Love to hear your guys' thoughts, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.